Alright folks, decided to do another video. I'm going to do one that I have tied many a times. Granted, this can be a different variation because I don't have my original materials. This is going to be a black and chartreuse jig. We're going to do some of this bright chartreuse, or I call it highlighter green because that's what it looks like. Body wrap's going to be this black shiny chenille, and some of this bright green chenille. I'm also going to do a little bit of black in the tail, just kind of give it a little bit more depth. So, as usual, 32nd ounce, or well, actually 16th ounce jig head. Everybody has kind of a preference on what weights they use, depending on how far they're wanting to jig and how slow they want it to fall. Usually I just use a 16th ounce because that's just what I like. But I'm going to start with my body wraps. As usual, start right behind the head. Using 210 black denier thread. It's a little bit wider stuff. I like for this kind of application. One of the ones that I tied the other day, didn't do it on camera, but I've got a thread that's a 70 denier, and this is itty bitty stuff. We're talking this is thinner than what Grandma used, and that's more for like trout flies and like real small work stuff. Which in a later video I will be making a few trout flies for me and one of my buddies for whenever we start taking our fly fishing trips. But wrap all the way back to the hook shank, even with the barb. Went ahead and cut. So I'm going to lay the black down first. Do it about like that. I don't want a whole lot of this black. Really should have picked a shorter piece, but as usual, a few loose wraps and then a few heavier wraps. Just to kind of get it to sit still, and then we go in behind it, just pull that back, tie in behind it to lock it in. Alright, which kind of a little bit of background on me doing this. I started off wanting to do something like this whenever I got bored and been watching fly tying videos and was wanting to get into fly fishing. Well, I got this set up for Christmas a couple years ago, and one of my buddies, or the same buddy that I do my fishing trips with, he said, "Hey, why don't you start tying crappie jigs?" I said, "Actually, that's not a bad idea." And I thought about it. I was like, "Well, dang, that's a bigger hook," because I had tied a few flies, and end up those fly hooks are bitty, 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 bitty. Like we're talking, it's a nymph hook, and I mean they're minute. So getting to use a number 4 jig head hook, heck yeah, I can tie on these all day. Tying fly fishing flies is a lot more time consuming because you have to watch what you're doing and be very selective with everything. Alright, so with this one, I've got way too much on here that I'm going to need. Whoops. So I'm going to... Oh, well, that might be part of the problem. I'm going to sit and pull some of this off. Alright, get that to where it's about lined up. See, I didn't need that full feather. Just stripped it right there at the base of it and got what I needed. A little bit better management of materials. So we're gonna get a little bit of this. Do the same thing. A few loose wraps. And then we tighten it down. Go in behind it, lock it down. Alright. Get that held in. Alright, now we bury it. Whoops. And yeah, I realize this is going to be just a little bit longer of a video with me battling and doing all that stuff, but figured some of y'all might want to know why I got into this. So for flashing material, I'm going to use black and some of the chartreuse flashing material. This stuff I got this off of Amazon, and it was a bulk package. I think I ended up with, if I remember right, it's like roughly 20 different colors, maybe 25. And I think, I know I have multiple bands of the chartreuse because that's just ends up being the most popular color. But as usual, why is it okay? Whatever. Actually, hold on. Apparently, I grabbed a short piece of black. Or maybe this is just a really long piece of chartreuse. I don't know. Sometimes material is a little bit longer. Way to go for quality control, guys. Way to go. Oh, no, that's about the same. Alright. As usual, we're going to get them split in half. I said half. One of these days I'll get a better camera to do this on, and then I'll actually edit this stuff. Right now we're doing just doing it off the cusp. But hey, makes it more entertaining. Why not add in goof ups and all that stuff? Because just like everybody else, I'm human, and I do make mistakes. Alright. So, I need a black and a chartreuse for one side. We're going to sit and we're going to take it. Fold it over the line. Just like so. Have it pinched. Even it up. And then we tie it in. And this will just, as always, just kind of gives it a little bit more pizzazz and all that. Just makes it look pretty. So I'm going to grab another couple pieces. Another piece of black and chartreuse. I'm going to take them. Pull them in. Same thing. Lay them over that line. Just fold it over the line. Put some tension on it. Bring it on around to this other side. My heater just kicked on. And it's blowing my material around. Which, those of y'all who live in Arkansas, at the time of me making this video, we just got done with that freezing cold and ice. I just had a power for a couple days. Fun stuff. But got power back, so all good. Not freezing to death. Alright, now that we got our tail material tied in, let's get with the handy dandy chenille, which also I bought this all in bulk and ended up with, looks like about 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 different colors. I think I paid maybe $10. I don't know, I have to go back and look. If I remember to, I will do some links to materials that I've gotten off of Amazon. If anybody's interested in doing that, or starting to do this. Alright, I'm going to do about 6 to 8 inches. This will give me just a little bit extra material. But that's fine, because if I got one that I want to add some of these little streamers in there at the end, just to kind of add a little bit more pizzazz to a more flashy bug that I'm creating. And keep that. Alright, so tie it off, roll it back to the head. Now we start doing our body wraps. And the reason why I do multicolors like this, it gives it that banding look. And keeps it from looking uniform. Alright, I'll roll it back just a little bit. We're going to build that body back up. I don't always suggest going back over something you've already rolled, but this is going to give it a little bit more bulbous body. Alright. Pull that forward, pull that material forward, tie it off. That should be good. Then pull it back. Do a few wraps. And that's got that tied in. And we snip. Take our handy dandy whip finisher. And we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright. This time I will include this. This is some Loon Outdoors UV Clear Coat Fly Finish. It's great stuff. I like it because it cures quickly, it's thin, and I can get it at Bass Pro anytime I'm on a Bass Pro. Go to the fly fishing section. And I got some new batteries for my UV light. Look at that bug glow. Ain't it pretty? But, yeah. So we're going to cure that resin. Make it look good. And if you want to use UV resin and you don't have one of these lights, I got this off of Amazon. But if you don't want to pay for a UV light, you can just hang these up in a windowsill. On a good sunny day when you're like, make sure it's sunny when you do it, or you can go set them outside as long as you got something to keep them from blowing away. And they'll cure in sunlight. Takes longer, but same effect. Anyway, let off the vise and look at that. Alright, let's pull that tail back. Yeah, my tail, if you can see, that flash is just a little too long. So I'm going to get in here with my little bitty scissors. Snip and snip. But not the best one I've done, but it'll work. When it gets in the water, that'll all stream together and kind of just give it this flowing look. Alright, and that's it for this video. Probably going to do another content video here soon, just kind of going over different ways to tie off hooks, or just a few fishing tips. Rabbit, if you're watching, I got you. I'll be working on that soon. But anyway, y'all keep fishing. Y'all take it easy.